Hello everyone and welcome. In this video I'm gonna walk you through how I helped Alex break free from an 11-year porn addiction in 15 minutes. Okay. First of all, my name is Ahmed. I help men break free from pornography once and for all. That's pretty much what I do. Okay. So let's start. Alex, one of my clients, came to me after 11 years of struggling. He had done no fab streaks, accountability apps, blockers, therapy, willpower, the whole thing. He could make some progress, but he always went back. Okay. And so he said, I don't know what I should do. I know it is possible to quit because a lot of people quit it without doing everything I did. Like, and I feel like there are two types of me, one who wants to quit and one who always wants to consume it over and over and over again. Okay. And so I'm gonna show you exactly what he was missing. And after he realized it, he didn't watch pornography again. And I promise to you, basically, once you see this, you will never be able to unsee it. Okay. I'll start off by asking you some questions, which is the same thing I did to Alex. Grab a sheet of paper and write your answers down. Okay. So let's get started. Okay, questions to help you quit pornography. Once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. First of all, you should know how we should do this. I say question number like one, two, three, whatever. You write, sorry. If I said like question number one, you write question number one on your paper. You should grab a sheet of paper, obviously, before that. Okay. And so I say the question, you stop the video and you write your answer. Let's say it again. Let's say that I said number one, question number one. You write on your paper question number one. I say the question, you stop the video and you write your answer. Okay. Don't overthink your answers. Write what comes to your mind immediately. There is no wrong answers here. Okay. So let's get started. Question number one. Write on your paper Q1. Okay. Do you love pornography? Stop the video and write your answer. Pause the video and write your answer. Okay. Question number two. What stops you from just quitting? Pause the video and write your answer. And by this question, I mean, what is the thing that stops you from quitting once and for all? Okay, once and for all. Question number three. If you want to quit, you can. Are you going to watch pornography anymore? Pause the video and write your answer. Question number four. What if you decided that you want to watch pornography? Pause the video and write your answer. Question number five. You quit and you change your mind. Why do you choose to watch pornography when you have decided to quit? Okay? Like after you mentioned here, after you decide to quit pornography and then you watch it again, it was basically that you change your mind, right? And so my question here now was, why do you choose to watch pornography after you've decided to quit? Pause the video and write your answer. And so now, did you answer one of these? One, coping with bad feelings. Two, not knowing how to face life's problems. Three, emotional needs. Four, the craving, a strong desire that makes you out of control. Five, doing it on autopilot without being aware. Six, identity conflicts, not knowing why you're here on this life. Okay. So, bro, if you didn't mention one of these six things in your answer, then you've got something wrong. Okay, because if you quit pornography, then you change your mind that you want to do it again. Then you have a strong reason to watch it again. Okay, like let's say that okay, I don't want to watch pornography again. Okay, I just made my decision. I won't change it. There would some specific thing would happen to you that would make you change your mind. Okay, and it is not a normal thing. You cannot say I will quit it and I won't watch it again, then you watch it for no reason. Okay, you would have one of these six reasons. You can't break your promise without having a strong reason to do so, right? And so one of these strong reasons must be one of these six things, okay, if you didn't write one of them, if you didn't write one of these 6 reasons, then you've done something wrong, okay? So yeah, after you write your answer, which is one of these 6 things, let's continue. And so let's call your answer X. Let's say that you said I watch pornography to cope with stress. And so when I say X, I mean by that coping with stress, okay? Don't worry, everything will become clearer. So, question number 6. How do you feel about the idea of quitting pornography for good? Pause the video and write your answer. Question number 7. I know that you answered it would feel amazing. My question now, would it really feel good? You say you watch pornography to cope with stress. If you said here that your reason to watch pornography, for example, to cope with stress, sorry, and we mentioned here that your answer is X, then you say watch pornography to cope with stress or to cope with life's problems. If you say if that was your reason why you change your mind after deciding you want to quit. If your reason is stress, then X is stress. If your reason is life's problems, then your reason is life's problems. Okay. So you say you watch porn to cope with stress. You seem to have a very good reason to watch pornography. Think about it for a second, bro. Like you watch pornography to cope with stress. You seem to have a very good reason to watch porn because really watching pornography helps you with with coping with stress. Okay, and so it's a deal for you. It's kind of a deal for you, right? So my question here, would it really feel that good? Because you say you watch pornography to cope with stress. You seem to have a very good reason to watch pornography. Write your answer. That was question 7. Question 8. Okay, let me say my question clearly. You said you watch pornography to cope with stress or to cope with life problems or to cope with your emotional needs or to just to give in to your desire or just because you do it on autopilot or just because you don't know why the hell that you are here on this earth. Okay, so whatever your reason is, you said that you watch porn to cope with stress. For example, now you feel good that you'll not watch pornography again. You watch porn to cope with stress, but feel good about giving it up. Like, bro, can you feel the contradiction here? If you watch pornography to cope with stress, you're not supposed to feel good about giving it up, okay? Like, think about it for a second. If something given a solution for you, then you will not be like you should not want to quit it. Why do you want to quit pornography? So it helps you with coping with stress. So you watch pornography to cope with stress, but feel good that you will not watch it again. You watch it to cope with stress, but feel good about giving it up. Like, and so it's giving you literally it's giving you a solution, but you feel good about giving up that solution. So what is the wrong? This is my question to you. Bear with me. I know that all of these are weird questions, but you will get everything after a second, I promise. Okay, write your answer. Question 8. Question number 9. You must really like to watch pornography and masturbate to go through all the trouble you do. Because you know that porn doesn't work as a solution for coping with stress. Okay. So bro, tell me, do you love pornography or not? Okay. Like bro, if you are dealing with like if you are dealing with coping with stress, sorry, if you're dealing with pornography as a solution for your stress, while you know that it doesn't work, you should stop that action, right? But there is he won't stop it unless you really love that action. Okay, if you like, let's say that I'm taking a medicine to treat my broken leg, for example. But if I'm taking that medicine and that medicine doesn't work and it just makes everything worse, that I'm supposed to stop it, right? What's happening for you is that pornography is not a solution for stress, okay? But you always keeps consume it, okay? And so you're taking a medicine that doesn't work, and ironically, you didn't stop that. And so my assumption here is that you love pornography to go through all the trouble you do. So I'm asking you now a very straightforward question. Do you love pornography or not? That was question number 9. Try to answer. If you said yes, I love pornography, skip to question number 15. If you said no, I do not love pornography, continue with me. We're now on question number 10. Okay, listen, bro. If you said yes, I love pornography, I admit it, go to question number 15, just skip through the video. If you said no, I do not love pornography, then continue with me. We're now on question number 10. Okay. Question number 10. If you said I do not love pornography, if you said I do love pornography, then skip to question number 15. Question number 10 for the people who doesn't love pornography. You hate coping with stress. You hate coping with your life problems. You hate coping with getting your sexual needs. You hate coping with identity conflicts. Do you hear that? No, the obvious answer. Then why do you hate pornography? So it's helping you to cope with them, to cope with the stress. Why do you hate coping with it? Write your answer. Question number 11. If you don't hate coping with the stress, then you should love pornography because it helps you cope with stress. I mean, it's a no-brainer logic, right? So tell me now, do you love pornography? Like, bro, pornography helps you coping with the stress. Then you should love it. It helps you cope with stress. I mean, it's a no-brainer logic, okay? So tell me, do you love pornography? If you said yes, go to question number 15. If you said no, continue with me. Question number 12. Describe your favorite pornographic scenario to me in a very clearly and specific details. Okay, write on your paper your favorite pornographic scenario. Okay, I know that like sounds like very lame, but trust me, just do that and you will know why I told you to do it. Okay. Question number 12. Write on your paper your favorite pornographic scenario. Describe it in a very specific details. Pause the video now and write it. Okay, did you finish? Let's continue. Question number 13. Are you aroused now? Okay, suppose you're aroused. If you're not aroused, then you've done something wrong. Describe your favorite pornographic scenario without watching pornography. Okay, don't be an idiot. However, so now, do you love pornography? Now your answer is gonna be yes. Because really, bro, when you are aroused, you know the truth. When you are aroused, you face the reality. When you are aroused, you can't deny the truth. But now, when you're not, when you really try to fight it, you're not gonna feel that sense of loving it because your conscious brain wants to quit it. And so, how are you supposed to say I love it when you really try to fight it? Okay, that was my argument, which is after you're aroused, you will say I love it because you know the truth. Okay, you love it. So you can't deny the truth. You really love it. Question number 14. Why you didn't mention coping with the stress while you were describing your favorite pornographic scenario? Bro, you really love pornography for what it is, not because it's a cure for stress. Deep down, you always tell yourself that the moment you always tell yourself the moment you decide to watch pornography, let's have some fun. Okay, like I'm 100% sure that you watch pornography when you were stressed. You watch pornography when you didn't have like your sexual needs from your wife. You watch pornography when you were feeling bad. You watch pornography when you were feeling good. You watch pornography when you weren't stressed. And so you watch pornography always, basically. Like, do not link it to negative things because you love it. If you like, okay, there is a medicine for for your broken leg. Would you take it if your leg isn't broken? The obvious answer is no. But you are taking that medicine even though that your leg isn't broken. So there is something else that's making you take that medicine, which is you love pornography. Okay. So question number 15. So now you know the deep pleasure that pornography gives. You basically watch it to have pleasure, and it doesn't matter if you have stress or not. right? Because you watch it when you were stressed. Question number 16. It is pleasurable. Tell me, why do you want to stop watching it forever though? If it's pleasurable, why do you want to stop it forever, bro? Like, why do you want to stop that medicine? Write down your answer. Pause the video and write down your answer. How do you feel about what I've said? Is it a familiar feeling? Like, bro, you want to stop it forever, but like you were aroused and I asked you, why do you want to stop it forever? And I bet that you felt some sort of bad feelings, and those are familiar feelings. Let me be very transparent and clear with you. Every time you would feel an urge to watch pornography, those feelings are existed. You feel aroused, you feel that you want to watch pornography, but at the same time, you know that it destroyed your life. Okay? And so I brought that feelings back just to make you face the reality for what it is. And so we're gonna address this right now. Okay? And so this is the familiar feeling you feel every time you face an urge. I just wanted you to discover the reality that you love pornography. Okay? And so bro, I'm noticing that I like, can you notice that I'm talking to two people? When you sat down, you said that you felt very good, that you would never feel good about the idea of watching pornography again. And now you seem to feel very bad about the same idea. Do you see this too? Like I told you here, why do you want to stop watching it forever? And you started to feel very bad about that because you know, deep down you know the pleasure of watching pornography, and you're now aroused. And I told you, why do you want to stop it? And you felt very strange feeling, which was the same thing you feel after every time you were aroused. Okay, and so this is the familiar feeling every time you feel when you have an urge. Deep down you know that you love pornography, but you know the damage it caused. Okay, and so you're trying to quit it, but you still don't know the reality, you're still blind. Okay, and so I'm here to explain it for you. Can you notice that I'm talking to two people? When you sat down, you said that you felt very good that you would never watch pornography again, and now you seem to feel very bad about the same idea. Do you see this too? That was my whole argument. So write down your answer. Part of you likes that idea, but part of you is scared to death of it. How would it be to say there are two of you? You, whatever your name, are the one who sincerely wants to quit watching pornography, but this other thing in you that wants to watch it over and over and over and over again. Okay? It is your living cells in your emotional brain. Does that make sense? So I'm talking here that you have two parts of you in your brain. You, your name, the one who wants sincerely to quit it, and the other man who wants to consume it over and over again. And I call that the one who always seeks pleasure, the living cells in your emotional brain. Does that make sense? Like, I will explain everything behind your emotional brain and your cells after a second. But does that make sense to believe that there are two people of you? If yes, then let's continue. If no, then uh, just try to work through the questions again. Okay, and so these demonic whispers that come from living cells in your emotional brain are just an expression of your huge appetite for watching pornography. It's it's a part of your animal nature to love sex pleasure, like freaky animal. Okay, so let me explain everything for you now, gentlemen. Once you see this, you can never unsee it. Okay, stop writing. Keep this paper for you, and let's continue. And so I asked you some questions to make sure that you love pornography. And let me give you the conclusive evidence that prove that you love pornography. If you're not convinced yet, let me explain to you that you watch pornography because of the pleasure it gives, not because of coping with the stress or anything bad, okay? So let's start. I wanted to write down how you watch pornography to get rid of stress or whatever your problem. Write down on your paper a time that you watch pornography to get rid of stress, okay? Like, write down on your paper the last time you remember You watch pornography to get rid of bad feelings or to get rid of whatever was your reason. Okay, write it on your paper. Okay, did you write it? Let's continue. You will notice that while you're going through stress, you were thinking all of the time about watching pornography. Okay, think about this again. Look at your paper. When you were going through stress before watching pornography, you were thinking all of the time about watching pornography. And that is because your brain really doesn't care if you're stressed or not. Your emotional brain doesn't care about that at all. It really just wants to get his goal, which is watching pornography. And I'll explain why after a second. Like, can you notice that all the time you were going through the urge, you were thinking also about watching pornography. And that's because this is the only goal that your brain wants from you. And now think back carefully and see if you can recall how you felt at those times where you were thinking of watching pornography. Write down your answer. If this sounded not clear, I'll explain more after a second. Okay? Think back carefully and see if you can recall how you felt at those times where you were thinking of watching pornography. By the way, let me explain it now. Um, okay, you were feeling stressed, you were feeling very bad, you were feeling like harsh feelings, and you suddenly decided that you wanted to watch pornography. Let's say that I'm now sitting here, I'm very stressed. Oh my god, what you should do? I have these problems. My life is very hard. Oh god, man, what should I do? What I should do? And so, okay, let's watch pornography. After deciding that, I want you to write down your feelings. Okay? Write down your feelings. Just after deciding that you want to watch pornography, after you started to think about that idea of watching it. Okay? Now, see this pause the video by the way, write your answer and see now this image explanation. This is the life cycle of every urge. Okay, bro? You feel the urge, you resist, and you start feeling extremely bad. You start to feel very stressed. You start to feel like everything on earth against you. You start to feel that you're behind. You start to feel like those very type of bad feelings. And so after that, you decide that you want to watch pornography. And then you suddenly felt energized and excited. Like you've gone from feeling stressed to feeling energized. Like, can you see the very obvious contradiction here? And then you decide to watch pornography, and then you watch pornography and masturbate, and then you feel very good for 3 seconds, then you feel shame and regret, and then you continue your day. And then it repeats itself over and over again. This is what's happening for you, okay, accurately. And so, feeling the urge, resisting and feeling bad for a lot of time, like whatever that time would be, you start feel the urge, and then you start to feel very bad, and you start to resist because you know that this is not a solution for your stress. You know that this is not a solution for your familiar problems. You know this is not a solution for not having your need from your wife. You know that this is not a solution for anything else. But as soon as you start to resist, you will start to feel that everything is just getting worse. And then after that, you decide that you want to watch it. And after deciding that you want to watch it, after you start to pick up your phone, after you start to type in the keyword before even being exposed to anything, you start to feel energized and excited. Hmm, what's happening? Can you see that like everything shifted so fast? So why is that happening? I'll explain it after a second. You started to watch pornography, then you felt shame and regret. Like you can see, resistant and feel bad, then feel energized, then feel ashamed. Why is that? And this always repeats itself and you don't know how to get out of it. And so this is the life of every urge. What you think is happening. Like a lot of people are not aware of this part, are not aware of that you feel energized and excited for some time, which is after every time you decide that you want to quit pornography. Okay. And so this is the life cycle of every urge. What you think is happening basically? You start to feel the urge and you still resist and feel bad, and then you watch pornography and you feel ashamed. And then you repeat it over and over again. But what you don't know is that you decide, then you feel energized and excited, then you watch. This is a missing idea. I need you to, first of all, do you really feel this? Your answer is definitely yes. Okay. You obviously feel energized every time that you decided that you want to watch pornography. But why is that happening? Like I go from feeling stressed and feeling very bad to feeling energized after 1 second. Then after several seconds I feel very ashamed. Like what's happening? I will explain after a second. And so what was happening is that your emotional brain was carefully concealing the pleasure that motivates watching pornography. You frame pornography as if it were a medicine for treating your life's problems. That's because you listen to a lot of people who say, quit pornography by addressing the root cause. Or they say, if you watch pornography or do unhealthy activities when you're stressed, then address the stress. And like, what the hell is this? This is not even close to reality because people like to delude themselves with these statements because they make them feel good for a moment. They make you feel good for sometimes. You like for some time. Like you would feel good if someone told you, "Oh, you watch pornography because you're stressed." Who is you? And they want you want to feel good for in a short term, but pain in long term. And people basically like to be told, who is you? And so I want you to know that suffering is inevitable throughout this life, and you already know that, okay? And so feeling stress is also inevitable. And so if you say, I watch pornography to cope with the stress, then guess what? You will keep watch pornography and be prisoner of it until you die, okay? And I'm just using stress as an example. Obviously, you can place stress with anything else, with whatever your reason to watch pornography, whatever you think is your reason, okay? And you will always wish that you were in stress, and this is not going to happen, okay? like like suffering is inevitable, okay, bro? You will feel stressed always. Like suffering is just a fixed part of this life. But if you say, I will stop watching pornography when I stop feeling stressed, then guess what? You will not stop watching it because you can't stop being stressed. This is not even close to reality. And unfortunately, a lot of professional people convince convince their clients that this is your problem. Once you stop being stressed, you will stop watching it. This is not true. Okay. And so you will start, you will always wish that you weren't stressed, and this is not going to happen, obviously, because this is not even realistic. You can say, I am addicted to pornography because I had a trauma. You can say, I'm addicted to pornography because I'm struggling with this stress. But you can also say, I quit watching pornography despite having a trauma. This is a different frame to think about. You can say, I'm addicted to pornography because I had a trauma, which is the same possible scenario, the worst possible scenario. And you can also say, I quit watching pornography despite having a trauma. And and so you are the one who controls his story, not the external events that happen to you. I'm saying this in case you really want to break free from pornography. If you want to stay a prisoner, you can be right, okay? Like I listen to this, like I can't agree with it more. You can be right or you can achieve your goals, okay? You can be right that your metabolism is hard, or you can lose weight, which is achieving your goal. You can be right, which is saying, I can't quit pornography because of this, or you can be wrong and achieve your goal, okay? And so, yes, if you don't want to quit and if you want to stay a prisoner of it, you can say, what I can't quit pornography because of this. But if you want to quit, you want to say, I am wrong and I want to quit pornography despite struggling with X. Okay? Think about this for a second. Who's the hero without suffering? Okay? And yeah, you can be right, but don't be surprised when you don't get anything out of your life. Don't be surprised when you don't feel that you're making any type of progress. Okay? And I'm sorry if this sounded harsh, but because I love you deep down and I told you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Okay? And so all of these people, even professionals, talk about stress and life's problems and how to avoid them without addressing why you really watch pornography. Okay? And you watch it because you love it, basically. And so you watch pornography to get out of the stress. This happened like only 50% of the times. And what will professional people start to do is that they will start teaching you how to deal with stress. But not always you watch because you were stressed. Not always you even want to to solve your stress, okay? Because you love pornography. You're not watching it just to solve your stress. You are watching it because you love it, okay? You are just you are just a man who loves to seek pleasure, okay? You can't deny this. This is a truth reality about you and me and everyone else, okay? And so if you're asking yourself now why did I trigger you? And so I triggered you in order to draw your emotional brain out so you can recognize it and know the truth, okay? I will talk about your emotional brain after a second, but I triggered you in order to put you under your ruthless judging, okay? And so just to prove that your emotional brain had been controlling you, think about the idea of never watching pornography again. Like your emotional brain had been controlling you, and to prove that, write down on your paper everything you think about the idea of never watch pornography again. Write on your paper how would life be if you lost the pleasure of watching it. Pause the video and write now and write this. Answer this. Did you do that? Okay, let's continue. By the way, bro, if you're not taking any action, like don't be surprised that you won't get anything done. Okay, and so after writing your answer, you will get to a conclusion that you used to watch pornography when you would feel these types of bad feelings. Okay, and so the bad feelings you felt actually represent your emotional brain. They aren't you because you deep down want to quit it for good. It's just that you're threatening some cells in your emotional brain with cutting a source of power for them. Like, think about it for a second. All you get from watching pornography is dopamine. Actually, I'll explain more about after a second. But you're giving some specific sort of cells a specific sort of energy, which is watching pornography that gives dopamine. And when you say I don't want to watch pornography, then you're giving up a source of dopamine, and so those cells will start to feel threatened. Don't expect that they are not gonna fight back. Don't expect that the mission is gonna be easy. You will start to feel bad and pressured because you threatened with cutting a source that were killing your life, basically. Okay, and so let me answer a very important question for you now, which is why pornography is addictive. Why you got into this in the first place? And so I will answer by saying there is something in your brain called the reward circuit. It consists of several organs within your limbic system. Their function is to release dopamine. As we said, dopamine's only function is to motivate you to take action or to write whether an experience was good or not. I forget to mention this, but obviously dopamine's only function, bro, is to motivate you towards taking an action or to write whether an experience was good or not. A lot of people say that dopamine's function is to make you feel good, but this is not true at all. Dr. Andrew Hoberman said the same thing I'm telling you. He said that he said that dopamine is the hormone of motivation. Okay, it just motivates you to do something. If you are hungry, your brain will release dopamine to make you take the action towards eating something that would make you full. Okay, if you are stressed, your brain will motivate you by releasing dopamine, will motivate you to seek solutions for your stress. So what is the function of your dopamine? Dopamine is a survival hormone. It's not the hormone of pleasure. Okay, it's the hormone that motivates you to avoid or to seek something, and the goal behind it is just to keep you alive. Like, I remember like a doctor who did an experiment about putting a hormone inside his body, and its function is just to prevent dopamine from being released. And after he did that experiment, he felt that he's not motivated to do anything in his life. He started to feel very depressed. He wanted to kill himself, and it's just because he prohibited dopamine from being released. Okay, so yeah, dopamine isn't the hormone of feeling good, as a lot of people say. Andrew Huberman said that this is not true. Okay, and so It's just here to motivate you to do something, and it has also another function, which is to write whether an experience was good or not. Okay, if you ate a beautiful thing, your dopamine will make you know if it feels good or not. It's just about writing experiences. And so let's say that you ate something good. If you know that it is good, you will get a lot of dopamine. If it wasn't good, you won't get any dopamine. That's it. So, the five most strong things that stimulate this circuit to release dopamine are sex, love, food, friendship, novelty. Watching pornography releases a massive amount of dopamine because it affects 4 out of 5 elements of the reward circuit. Let's start from French. Like pornography is very addictive because the five most strong things that stimulate this circuit to release dopamine are those things. And pornography affects 4 of them. Okay? Affects 4 of them. And so let me address that for you. Friendship. Notice how a pornography addict often has no friends. He literally uses pornography as a friend to deal with all of his negative feelings. Like a lot of healthy people, when they want to seek solutions for their problem, maybe they would call a friend. Maybe they would do whatever they want to do. Maybe they would communicate with other people, which is which 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 would be like a friendship thing that would release some dopamine for them. But a porn addict won't do any of that. He would just type the keyword and watch pornography. And so he's replacing friendship dopamine with a friendship with pornography. And so this is your first source of dopamine. Love. It affects you very much. Pornography is very addictive because it releases dopamine very much because of love. It has been scientifically proven that your limbic system, under the influence of pornography, releases chemicals that try to create a bond of love between you and what you're watching. This is because it cannot differentiate between watching pornography and real life. Your emotional brain can't tell the difference between you watching pornography or you in a actual intimate like position. Okay, it doesn't know any difference. And so when you watch pornography, your brain will start to think that you're really in a real love. But this is not happening. And so the love hormones that you get from watching pornography are low and they are not stable like the real love. Okay? And so your brain will start to feel that it is in a real love, but it's fake. And so that's why you are dealing with unhealthy type of friendship and love. After that, this is the one of the key difference between real sex with a partner, someone you love, and pornography. With pornography, a person feels emptiness because the feeling of love they receive are fake. Okay, this is scientifically proven. You can just search about that. Six. This is obvious. Perfect bodies, unrealistic proportions, women at the peak of beauty. When your brain sees this, it doesn't distinguish between you being in a real sex or something fake. Like literally, bro, when you watch pornography and you see all of these perfect women, your brain says, "Oh, that's very beautiful. This is the best thing I've ever seen." And basically, you're watching perfect women. Like, no wonder why you will get a lot of dopamine. This can't be realistic for a lot of women. Like, literally, you're watching top 1% level of beauty in pornography. Okay. After that, novelty. Thousands of scenarios, the ability to see dozens of women in minutes. Your brain literally understands this as you're trying to mate with many different women in a short time. I told you that your brain can't distinguish the reality. And so that's why it's very addictive. The most five things that stimulate this circuit to release dopamine are sex, love, food, friendship, and novelty. Pornography hits 4 of them. Friendship, you're lonely, and so pornography is your friend to relieve your bad feelings. And love, you are in a love with pixels. This is scientifically proven. Sex, you're watching perfect women. And novelty, you watch thousands of perfect women. No wonder why you will get a lot of dopamine. And so the same applies to female pornography addicts, by the way. Everything I said applies to both genders. It's just a side note that's not very important. And so, therefore, this explains why marriage doesn't fix a pornography addiction. Like, you can't get in any sort of relationship when you're like a lot of people think that after I get married and after start to having sex, then I won't struggle with this. But it's not true because it's not about sex at all. It's about dopamine. Like, like think about it for a second. Real life can't give you the same dopamine you get from here. And I will explain why you won't feel satisfied after a second. Okay. So a real wife cannot provide these unrealistic and disgusting scenarios, novelty. A real wife cannot change her appearance dozens of times, novelty. And so a real wife's body is not perfect because a husband does not see his wife's body before marriage as like okay, this is a friction. A real wife's body is not perfect. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. And so real wife's body is not perfect. Okay. And if you're married, you already know this truth. Okay. Like women on pornography are perfect. Your wife, there is a high possibility that she's not gonna be perfect because they cherry pick the women that they want to get them into this bad industry. Okay. A real wife's body is natural and not unrealistically altered by the numerous cosmetic surgeries that are common in the pornographic industry. Okay, pornography producers know all of this. I swear to you, bro. Like I swear to God, bro. They have thousands of psychological experts whose only job is to make pornography more addictive every single day. Fortunately, that's what happened. You can search about everything I say, and so therefore you can never watch it in moderation, as a lot of people lie to themselves. Okay, like a lot of people lie to themselves by saying I will start like minimize its using. That won't work because it is designed to be addicted, to make you addicted, and it's designed to be addictive. So you cannot do that. You cannot quit it gradually. All of this is literally because it is intentionally designed to make you addicted from the first glance. Okay, you watch pornography not because you want to treat stress. You watch pornography because the logical solutions for stress or any type of bad feelings can't do what porn and masturbation would do. Like porn and masturbation would give you like very huge dopamine because of those things. That's why you watch pornography. You don't watch it because it's a solution for stress. Stop lying to yourself, bro. You watch it because it gives you a huge dopamine because of this equation. This equation, bro. Because of those four things, and pornography affects them very much. Okay, if you want, like, by the way, if you want to get a huge dopamine, do those things. If you can combine five things with each other, you will get addicted. Okay, and so let's continue. Mm, you watch pornography because you don't want to feel stress. You watch pornography because the solutions for stress or any type of bad feelings can't do what porn and masturbation can do. Okay, and so your living cells from your emotional brain use stress and normal life problems as a reason to watch pornography. Do you think they really care if you're depressed, stressed, or whatever, or whatever? They don't. They don't give a shit, right? And so they don't care about you. Okay, your emotional brain, the cells that are making you addicted, they don't care about you. By the way, I will explain living cells and your emotional brain, everything about them after a second. But the thing that is making you addicted, besides the external things, doesn't care if you're depressed, doesn't care if you're stressed. All they care about is that you consume pornography. That's everything they care about. Your cells just want to consume pornography to get power. Okay, and so I am sure that you quote your emotional brain saying a lot. Who cares if you're depressed? If you can really watch porn to escape it from it anyway. The logical solutions will only get you back to reality, and reality sucks anyhow. Okay? And so now, after you are fully aware that your emotional brain is manipulating you, you should know that it uses a very dangerous weapon against you. Let's make you aware of it. Okay? Your brain is manipulating you, obviously. And let's talk about this manipulation. The manipulation is porn is separated from sex. You don't know this? Let me prove it to you. Take this pump. Your struggle with pornography has nothing to do with sex. You having a sexual desire has nothing to do with struggling with pornography. Okay? You will have a lot of urges without having an erection. You will start to feel this intense craving without having an erection. Like most of the times, you won't have an erection, but you would feel that you are aroused. What's happening? AKA, you will want to watch pornography without having a sexual desire. Most of the times, porn addicts will feel the desire to watch the sexual desire, as they call it, without having an erection. And so, why is that? When you are with a real partner, you will have this normal sexual desire only when you are aroused. Like, only you will feel your sexual desire with a real partner and you will have erection at the same time. You can't feel sexual desire while you are in a real with a real partner without having an erection. Why is that happening with pornography? That means that you have an urge to watch pornography, but it's not a sexual urge, bro. Separate the two things. Because if it is a real sexual urge, you will have erection before even thinking about watching pornography. Okay? Like a lot of the times when you are with a real partner, you will have an erection, then you will get into the sexual thing. But in pornography, you feel the urge, then you get into the sexual thing, then you have an erection. You start to watch pornography, then you have an erection. When you are with your partner, the opposite happens. You have an erection, then you start to have intercourse with your partner, right? And so you watch pornography 95% of the times while you aren't horny. Okay? You watch pornography 5% of the times only because you really need real sex. Okay? It happens, but it's rare. Most of the times you watch only because you do it on autopilot, only because you need dopamine it gives. And so when you watch porn, it gives a lot of dopamine because it works on the four things we talked about it earlier. And so when you watch it, you get a huge dopamine. And when you get a huge dopamine, it gets linked to something else. Like, I want you to stay focused with me here, okay? This I'm explaining an extremely important thing that would help you break free, bro. Literally, this stuff is dangerous. And so when you watch pornography, you get huge dopamine. And when you get huge dopamine, it gets linked to something else. Example, you watch pornography after being alone at night. Now your brain know that if you are alone, you might watch it. And so because you had a huge dopamine that's linked to the night, to that night, when you face another night, your brain will give you an actual urge to watch pornography. Because pornography gave it a lot of dopamine before in this night. So it's not about sex at all. Like, bro, think about it. You are getting a lot of urge just because your brain has linked watching pornography to these urges, to the things that give you an urge, sorry. Like, if you watch pornography after you wake up, then and you started to feel, if you used to watch pornography after you wake up and you suddenly started to feel the urge after waking up, then it's not because you want to be sexual. It is because there is high dopamine that is linked to morning. If you feel the desire to watch pornography after you're stressed, it's not because stress is a solution. Watching pornography is a solution for stress, and you already know that. It is just because you got a huge dopamine that is linked to being stressed. That's why you wanted to watch pornography. You linked pornography to other normal actions and other normal events that happen to your life. And so that's why you feel a lot of urge. It's not about sex at all. And so your emotional brain will tell you, do you remember we had fun? Do you remember this? Do you remember when we had fun? And so that, like, when you tell yourself that, do you remember when we had fun? It's just because you got a huge dopamine that was linked to that. It's not because you had fun. Like, bro, having fun is another separated hormone. When you watch pornography, you only receive dopamine. You don't receive the hormone of love. You receive it in a fake way. You receive just a little of it. You don't receive serotonin, which is the hormone of love. You only receive dopamine. And dopamine isn't enough to make you feel good. Dopamine isn't the hormone of feeling good. Like you were deluded by believing that dopamine is the hormone of feeling good. You can't technically and scientifically say, I will watch porn to feel good. That's not even realistic. Because watching pornography will just give you dopamine. Dopamine isn't the hormone that will make you feel good. Okay? You didn't have fun, to be scientifically clear. You had dopamine. But because your emotional brain knows how to manipulate, no. Bro, this stuff, your emotional brain, I will talk about it after a second. I said that a lot of the times. And your emotional brain, because it is existed inside you, because it's existed in your head, it knows how to manipulate you. Okay? And so it will start to tell you, do you remember that we had fun? And also another reason, it is because dopamine writes whether an experience is good or not. Do you remember, bro? And because that experience was good, your it like it wasn't good technically, as I said here, but it is linked because it released a lot of dopamine, and so your brain will start to manipulate you, and it will tell you, "Do you remember that we had fun, but you didn't have fun?" This is what your emotional brain is actually saying while unmasking the truth. It's saying, watch pornography because it gives me dopamine. And because dopamine is a hormone of motivation, you will feel very motivated to watch pornography, but very regretful after watching it. So let's go back here. Here, you're actually getting dopamine when you're here and when you are here. Think about it for a second. When you're here, you're not getting any type of dopamine. Okay? And you're feeling bad, you're feeling stressed while you are taking some normal amount of dopamine that would only motivate you to be here. But after you decided that you want to watch pornography, you started to feel energized and excited. Why is that? Your brain started to release dopamine. What's dopamine mission? Just to make you feel motivated to do stuff. And so you're getting dopamine here and here. Like you're getting dopamine at these 2 points when you are here and when you are here. When you are here, you're not getting any type of dopamine. That's why you feel like crap because you're not getting anything. And so you're just chasing dopamine. So the relapse always looks like a gift. Its wrapping is good, but inside it is something bad, as is the case with pornography. When your brain is craving dopamine, it will give you a gift with a wrapper that reads, watch pornography for pleasure. And indeed, you watch because your brain tricked you. It knows how to manipulate you. It is existed inside you. And so when you take the gift, you discover that it wasn't for pleasure. That was just the wrapper or the trick, to be clearer. That was just the wrapper. You opened the gift and got dopamine. And that was the thing that was the thing that was motivating you and pulling you to open the gift. You were just getting dopamine. Dopamine is the hormone of motivation. After after you were motivated and after you did what you will did, the dopamine mission ended, and you felt like crap every time you did it. You had no dopamine. And so here is what happened. Your brain wanted dopamine. It started to think it. It started thinking about how to trick you. It used the stress trick on you because you believe that, because you used to believe that you watch pornography when you are stressed. It gave you a gift labeled, open this to relieve stress. Opening a gift is watching pornography, obviously. Indeed, you watch pornography and open the gift because you wanted to relieve your stress as you believe. You discovered you only got dopamine. You didn't get stress relief. Your brain tricked you because it knows how to do that. The dopamine, it was trying to get what made you think you wanted to relieve stress. The dopamine is just a motivation, okay? And so, why do you feel a lot of motivation like before watching pornography? Why do you feel motivated? only to watch pornography. You're not feeling motivated to do anything else. You feel motivated after watching pornography, before watching pornography, sorry. After watching it and after masturbating, you won't feel anything. That's the truth. And you will start to say, okay, I will change my life. And after watching pornography and after feeling like crap, you start to say, feel motivated, and you start to say, I want to change my life, because your dopamine system will start to restart after like 1 day. But after that, when you start to feel the withdrawal symptoms, you change your mind. That's what was happening for you. Okay. And so look at this. The red part is responsible for your survival. We're talking about your emotional brain now, okay, bro? The red part is responsible for your survival. Heartbeat, breathing, sweating, escaping danger, etc. The blue part in your brain is responsible for your emotions, impulses, cravings, anger, happiness, etc. The green part is responsible for critical thinking. This is what separates you as a human from any other animal. Knowing what's good and what's bad, calculating the consequences, decision making, etc. Okay? And so the blue part is your emotions, the red part is your survival, the green part is your critical thinking. And so if you want to quit but can't, then you are in a battle between yourself and your addiction. In other words, there is a battle between the green part and the red part and the blue. Sorry, let me say it again. In other words, there is a battle between the green part and the red and the blue parts of your brain. Okay? Here is what I mean to be clearer. As a human, sex is one of your most basic needs. Like, think about it. If you believe in God, God put this need inside you because you should have offspring and you should have a lot of kids. Like, not a lot of kids technically, but you should not, like, we don't want humans to disappear, okay? And so that's why sex is your survival needs. I'm talking about the normal sex. And so let's assume that you are a normal married man. You have intercourse for about 3 weeks. You would feel a desire to have sex with your partner. Okay. Why did you have this desire to have sex with your partner? Because this one is triggered. This thing measured your blood and discovered that you haven't had sex for a while. Okay. And discover that you haven't had sex for a while. And so what's happening is that it will start to send you some cravings and some urges to make you have sex with your partner. Okay, this is what happens if you wanted to learn it in a very high level. Okay, so here is the explanation. The natural desire comes from the survival part of your brain. And so why? Because it started getting signals from your body that your testosterone levels and semen levels are high, which means that you haven't had sex for a while. Like, that's everything. And as you know, sex is the survival need for us humans. So the red part will start giving signals, and there is a survival need for this body to have sex. This body will take those signals and turn them into feelings of cravings. Like, I highlighted this in blue because survival one, he didn't have sex in a while, will start turning them into emotions and cravings. And so that's how a normal person feels the need to have sex. And he either chooses to have sex with his partner or not. Chooses is a green thing. I highlighted with the green. Why? Because this is here. Because this is your critical thinking. This what separates you as a human from any other animal, knowing what's good and what's bad, calculating the consequences, decision making, etc. Like, if you are a no a if you are a an animal, sorry, you don't have this. You only feel the need and then you do it. Feel the need, do it. Feel the need, do it. Even if it's unhealthy. That's why a lot of animals die because they don't have this. But you as a human have it. So you're supposed to use it wisely. Okay. And so, okay. And you became addicted because of the of the high dopamine it gives. Let me be transparent with you about something, bro. I cannot explain now why it is very addictive because it's gonna take a lot of time. But basically, uh, you were in a where you were vulnerable, okay, and so you were in a weak position, and you get exposed to pornography. Like, let's say you were a teenager, you had need for sex, but you didn't have way to any healthy way to do it, and you were exposed to pornography, or because your partner didn't give you like enough of your sexual needs, and so you exposed yourself to pornography, and because of the huge dopamine it gives, you became addicted, okay, as we said earlier. Okay, so you became addicted, so you're not feeling those painful feelings. This is, by the way, I just explained this very briefly. It's way deeper than that. This is because your body is sending many survival signals that are not being responded to. Responded, green, because responded by this, you respond by this part, okay? And so you only used to get a small amount of dopamine from having wet dreams. So because of this suppressed need, you became highly sensitive to it. Okay, so you have the perfect environment to porn addiction if it, as if it is a virus. Like, let's say you're like I said this, make like based on the assumption that you were a teenager that didn't have any way to do sex in a healthy way, and so because of your suppressed need, you became highly sensitive to it. You have a perfect environment for porn addiction. Like, if you are stressed and you used to do very unhealthy activities to escape your stress, and after that you expose yourself to pornography, then pornography won't have that same effect on you because you're not weak sexually. But obviously, will get addicted because of the huge dopamine it gives you. But if your need was sexual in the first place, it's just gonna make everything harder. And so when you start masturbating and watching pornography, you get a huge hit of dopamine that far exceeds a healthy level. And so here it is. Like, I just made this up. When you with the dopamine releases is like here you get so much released dopamine, but the maximum amount of healthy dopamine is this. And to have like signals that you have to do sex is like just this one, but you getting this amount of dopamine, this is only the healthy one. You're getting far what exceeds the healthy amount of dopamine, and so this massive increase in dopamine harms your brain. So as a result, your brain will shut down its dopamine receptors. So no matter what healthy activities you do, none of them will feel interesting because you used to use huge hits of healthy dopamine. Like, let's zoom in here. Like, you're getting a huge dopamine because of watching pornography, and this is the maximum amount of healthy dopamine you can get. And so you start to watch football, you start to play football or soccer, or you start to hang out with friends, or you start to learn hobbies, or you start to do whatever healthy activities you want to do. But all of them would 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 not make you feel anything because your brain shut down its receptors. Your brain shut down its receptors. Like, imagine you were getting dopamine at this level, then this level didn't feel anything. And so the only way to get dopamine is by watching worse pornographic things. And the other way to watch the only way to watch to get more dopamine is just to watch pornography more, or just to watch different scenarios or whatever. And so when you try to do healthy activities, whatever they are, you won't get that amount of dopamine. So like, your brain shut its dopamine receptors here, but you are doing healthy activities that doesn't give dopamine that exceeds this line. Okay, and so that's why you don't feel anything when you try to quit pornography. And so you try to quit, but your brain is used to these huge hits, the thing that makes it very hard for you to quit. Okay, but why getting used to these huge hits will make it hard to quit? That's because your survival brain will recognize a sudden drop in dopamine as a danger sign. Dopamine is a hormone responsible for motivating you to do anything. It's not the hormone of happiness, as I said earlier. For example, if your brain didn't release dopamine when you ate, you would feel no desire to eat again and you would eventually die. Very straightforward. And so this is dangerous, and what's happening when you try to quit is dangerous. Okay, and so you used to have these huge dopamine hits. This is your previous dopamine release. You watch pornography before before deciding that you want to quit, and you start to notice that you're getting these huge amount of dopamine. And so this is the maximum amount of healthy dopamine. But now you're only getting this. You're only getting this, like ignore this one and ignore those two ones. You are your previous dopamine was at this, but your brain shut down its dopamine receptors at this level. And no matter what you do, you're only getting this. And so this is a dangerous sign for your survival brain. You're not getting enough. You're not getting enough dopamine. You're not feeling enough dopamine. And so your emotional brain will, and your survival brain and your emotional brain will start to feel bad about this idea. What's happening? He's not getting enough dopamine. Dopamine is our hormone that will make us survive. What's happening? And so you will start to feel so you will start to feel cravings to get that huge dopamine again. And so when your brain observes this massive decrease in dopamine release, it will start sending you survival signals which manifest as intense cravings and urge to return to the activity that provided the dopamine. Watch pornography and masturbating. Return. It will tell you, hey, return, return. I highlighted in green because of this. You are the one who execute. Okay? And so let's go back. And so they manifest as intense craving and urge to return to the activity that provided the dopamine, watching porn and masturbating. But you don't want to do it. I had it in green because you know its harms. And that's basically how the friction happens. That's basically how the friction happens, bro. You want to quit it but can't because all of those things. And after Alex know everything I told you above, he broke free from pornography. He answered the question that would leave him confused for years and years. He no longer unaware of why he is trapped, the thing that made him kill his addiction. That's everything, bro. I know that this was very fast, but I solved the problem, which is why you feel that there are two people of you and you can't understand your addiction. This is the best way you can say to make this understandable for you, okay? And understandable. Thank you. Now, thank you from the deep bottom of my heart for giving me your most valuable asset, time. If you found these questions and the neuroscience valuable, and if you found this explanation valuable, you can click the link below. Choose the time that works for you to book a call with me to see if I can help you to quit without ups and downs. Click here, it's a link. It will take you to my calendar to book a call. And my offer for you is very simple. You quit pornography within 3 months. Your productivity and mental health improve dramatically. If not, if you didn't quit within 3 months, if your productivity and mental health didn't improve dramatically, I will keep coaching you for free until you succeed. And if you still don't quit, you will get every penny back and free access to all of my proven systems until it works. You literally have nothing to lose. Okay, if you don't quit, I don't get paid. You should look uh you should look at this offer, bro. Like, you quit pornography within 3 months, your productivity and mental health improve dramatically. Otherwise, I won't get paid. And so what I'm saying now is that you should book a call now because I only take 4 men per week for these sessions. They require deep focus. Not gonna lie to you, I don't do cookie cutter. As of today, as of today, while me recording this video, 2 spots remain for this week. On Sunday at midnight, those spots will disappear. And if you wait basically until Monday, you wait another full week. And in that week, how many urges will you fight alone? And every week you wait, your brain digs the grove deeper. The neutral pathways get stronger, the urges get harder to fight. The best time to start was a month ago, the second best time is now. Click the link below to end your struggle for good. Click this to book a call with me to see if I can help you so we can crush it together. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.